Oh, we're on. Okay. Hey, Chris. Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness. Happy Friday. If you're at home and you're watching this on this Friday night, I apologize. I'm really sorry. But hey, I've got something, I apologize for, that you're having to deal with me, but hey, just to make things right, I've got this guy here next to me, the one and only
fan favorite,
web
by popular demand,
the web celebrity, Chris
Makes me sound like some
Cassidy.
sort of Spider-Man.
That was a term that people used to use like before influencer and before what's the other term? Creator. But influencer is kind of the dirty word now of the internet.
Yeah.
But before influencer, years ago, it was they tried to make this a thing, calling people that were famous from their internet content. They called them web celebrities, but it didn't take off. It didn't really. They tried to make it a thing, and influencer ended up being the one that, and creators. Now I hear creators a lot, which I think is feels a lot more legit to say you're a creator, if then I'm an influencer. But anyway,
egotistical is what it sounds like.
I don't have anything against it, though. I'm just saying I know other people have. It's not me. No. But anyway, Chris Cassidy's here, ladies and gentlemen. He's not an influencer. He's a YouTube guy. He's a YouTube star.
Say creator, reactor, editor.
Yeah,
singer.
He makes great content. He's got a great YouTube channel. He's Chris Cassidy,
founder of It's a Vase Productions.
Creator Chris Cassidy, but high engagement, quality viral content that he's turned out on YouTube that has brought him to us today. And he also is at Geek News Now on Monday nights, MCU Mondays, every single damn Monday, with Debbie Barton and other MCU Monday players. That is a revolving door of different people that come in on Monday nights, and they talk Marvel, whatever there is to talk about.
Yes, we do. And sometimes, we get off topic, but it starts with Marvel and it ends with Marvel. And sometimes in between, who knows what happens, but that's the focus every Monday. That's on Geek News Now and It's a Vase Productions. And so that's why I'm happy to be here to talk about Marvel again.
Yes.
And I'm hoping maybe we can get you over to our MCU Monday. You're welcome this Monday, but next Monday is going to be the one where we talk about the season finale. And so we'll be in touch on that. But because we're going to have the season finale of Moon Knight to talk about in the same episode that we have to talk about Doctor Strange. So it's going to be a big one.
That might be a 3-hour show.
It's gonna be a blast.
It could be a 4-hour. That could be. You might do 2 shows and just
getting a Red Bull.
Yes, definitely get your energy drink.
I'm gonna be there for the long haul. All right.
You heard that? Well, this coming Monday will be Moon Knight talk and preview of Doctor Strange, and then the following Monday it's reaction to not 1 but 2 Marvel, a show and a movie that will have come out next week, the finale of Moon Knight season 1, and assuming there'll be more seasons, but then also Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness react next week. We're going to do tonight Multiverse of Madness preview. We're going to have theories, predictions. It's going to be a multiverse of randomness on this Thunderpop.
Coming up on Thunderpop.
Just what I just said. That's what it will be.
It's a retroactive.
Exactly. It's time travel, which we might get a little bit of in this film. I'm Steven Presley, Chris Cassidy. It's going to be fun. It's Friday night. All Multiverse of Madness talk. I'm going to go ahead and here in a minute, we're going to roll in our opening intro just like this with a Marvel superstar here, right here.
It's time for Thunderpop. Don't make me say it again. Thunderpop, Thunderpop.
Yeah.
Thunder Pop.
Here we are. Good to see you tonight, sir.
Me too.
It's
It's been a while.
It's been a little bit a minute
too long.
or a couple minutes.
Too many minutes. It's almost a damn hour at this point.
Yes. How's your spring? How the hell is your spring?
It's going pretty good. I'm looking for a new job in the area of graphic design type stuff, but other than that, I mean, as far as the geekiness, the nerdiness goes, I'm very excited for Multiverse of Madness. I've been super excited for that. I've been enjoying Moon Knight. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, that's the other thing that's been and Moon Knight's been okay. I would have liked to see more actual Moon Knight in it, but you know, it's just something in the wait for Multiverse of Madness, because I've been waiting for that. I loved the first Doctor Strange, the mind-bending stuff that they did.
Yeah.
Everyone was looking forward to Spider-Man, and I enjoyed that, but I've really been looking forward to this one, because this one
is the one you really had marked in your calendar.
Because it's the one that I knew was going to set the actual playing field. Like, we've had questions after questions. We've had, what about the X-Men? What about multiverse stuff? We had stuff introduced in the cartoon show, the What If series, the idea of multiverses. That was a big plot point. Evil Doctor Strange. I was like, this is tying into the next thing. And the multiverse stuff, that's going to be, we can already see it. We'll talk about it, I'm sure, but that's what's that's how they can introduce X-Men. That's how they can change from being like the MCU to the actual Marvel verse, as opposed to just like what we've had for the past 10 years or so. Because now they can include the Fox stuff that they bought. They can include like Fantastic Four. They can include X-Men. They can include all these different properties that they didn't have access to when they first started the MCU. When Iron Man came out, they had like the B or C list characters, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very small number of characters they had to work with. No Spider-Man, which they don't still technically have Spider-Man, but they have that deal.
They've had Sony. That deal, but we'll see.
They have that deal that they've been able to get those movies made. You know, and then also next week, May 4th, Star Wars Day, and smack dab in the middle of all the Marvel, sandwiched between two breads of Marvel breads, is Star Wars May 4th Day. And some Star Wars fans weren't happy that Marvel is trying to kind of move in on their territory. It made them step outside and scream.
Kenobi. Kenobi!
Just a reminder. They're just wanting to let you know, hey, we got this coming up at the end of May.
The end of May.
Which is another thing about May. It's just May. It's going to be May. But that was terrible.
It's a big deal.
It's probably the biggest month in content as far as television movie content in over 2 years. With Multiverse of Madness, Moon Knight's finale, the much anticipated Marvel series with Oscar Isaac, and then Kenobi coming out the end of the month, and then also Top Gun Maverick, which got some great reviews in Las Vegas as they previewed it to the audience there. It said it was amazing. So what a month!
Still kind of amazed that movie hasn't come out yet. I feel like I saw the first trailer for that 2 years ago,
like a decade ago.
3 years, yeah.
At the beginning of the 2000s.
Well, I remember that I literally made a mashup trailer of that and The Rise of Skywalker when that trailer came out, because I think they came around the same time.
Yeah.
And it's because it's two things flying low over sand. I basically just put one on top of the other. I was like, this is the same thing. But then Rise of Skywalker actually came out, and Top Gun never did.
Yeah. Well, and you know, a lot of that I think Tom Cruise still has that pull in Hollywood. I just don't think he wanted this movie to be just sold to a streamer, to the highest bidder and put on streaming. They really wanted this to be seen on a big screen. And some say go see it on IMAX, the ones that have already seen it. So anyway, they were able to pull it off, but if it had been much longer, it would have been Paramount probably would have had to go ahead and just say, let's put it on. We'll sell it to whoever wants, Netflix. Whoever wants to buy it. Netflix will cancel 5 shows to make up for the money they would need to buy it.
Top Gun's got, I mean, it's got a core fan base who like have seen the original,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't have like a whole big surrounding history like Star Wars, or it doesn't have a big franchise. It just is itself. So
it
this
won't
is
be
like only other thing. There have been some parodies of it, like Charlie Sheen did those.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did that whole,
which are hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those film will not be as big as the Multiverse of Madness. It could very easily be though in like the top 3 or 4 movies of the summer though, because if you look at the summer movie roster, after you get past like 3 or 4 movies, it does start to lighten up quite a bit.
Yeah, and I know the next one Marvel has after that is July.
Yeah.
With Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah, which is probably going to be pretty good.
And I think DC has some stuff coming out too, but I haven't been paying as much attention to them other than to see like if Ezra Miller is in jail again or
oh gosh. Well, that Flash movie's been pushed back to next year because it was supposed to be this year, and
that's gonna be such a problem for them.
It almost is worse that it's being delayed. Like if you were that, I mean, or they need to get things straight with Ezra Miller between now and next year, and not worse, because if it gets worse, you have to change the way you promote that movie. You can't.
What else did they have? Aquaman 2 with what? Amber Heard. I mean, that's not. They've got a lot of problems on their plate.
Well, that's an easier fix because you can completely delete her from the trailers and all promotion. She doesn't have
just
to
green screen it. Turn her into a fish. Okay, just make her. Aquaman, right?
I mean, she doesn't necessarily have to even be a part of the press junkets. I would not even make her a part of the press junkets as long as you have.
People are going to be furious about that.
As long as you have Jason Momoa. That's all you need for promoting that film and the other cast members. But if it gets much worse than it's already gotten, and there's a petition already with millions and millions of signatures that increased tenfold over just the last couple of weeks. If it gets much worse, but yeah, DC Warner Brothers has had a really rough month.
They have not. I mean, they've had a rough decade. They're just stumbling, fumbling, stars bumbling, like I mean, Marvel hasn't had anyone getting in trouble like that.
No,
outside of the film, you know what I mean? Like,
I think Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and Marvel, Disney have much better background checks before they hire employees.
It just seemed, because they're not getting. They might get in trouble for other, like Brie Larson made some comments, but that was just like that's just. Some people don't agree with the comments she made in an award show. I mean, that's not like I fought somebody when I was drunk and high. That's something else entirely. That's like a whole different level of behavior.
Broke into somebody's house in Hawaii too.
Yeah,
that was a whole thing too. He broke into somebody's house.
2 different. When he was released for the first thing, he got in trouble again before they even settled that. Yeah,
I think there's been like 2 or 3 just in the last month.
And I don't try and follow it too much other than I just see like, oh, it's happening again. Like,
which is what's interesting is that he was one of the few characters. Well, he was the only one. Him and Jason Momoa were the only ones that actually participated in that finale on the Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm. Stop telling people I have sex with Fishberry.
And that line, of course, is that viral moment of the end of Peacemaker was great. He had one of the best, funniest scenes. But I think it's probably a drug problem. Can he rebound from it? Yes. But will he rebound from it soon enough to save his job at Warner Brothers DC? That's the question.
I do not know about that. I can frankly say Ezra Miller has never been my favorite Flash.
No, I agree.
I think they could have just casted that better in general. And now that he, if it's going to cause you a bunch of problems too, introduce the Flash verse where there's a bunch of different Flashes and just, okay, now we're following this guy because that other guy was.
Could you get Timothée Chalamet to come and reshoot all his scenes in the Flash movie and make him your Flash? Because he's a pretty likable guy. If he bulked up a little bit, I think he could pull that off.
I think, well, it depends on which Flash they're going for, but I'd like to see more of a Barry Allen, like the 90s.
Okay. Yeah.
Justice League cartoon, but I don't even know what they're going to end up doing, because everyone's like, bring back the Snyderverse. And then it's like, well, most of these people are either leaving the roles or in trouble. Cyborg has all the trouble with his role. Batfleck, who knows what he's going to do.
It's a hot mess.
It's a jumble. It's a DC jumble. And I couldn't tell you what they're going to do with it, but it'll probably, if they continue the way they've been going, will be a jumbled.
They just throw a bunch of things in a hat and shake it up and see what they come up with.
They've got the Black Adam movie coming. That should be good for them.
Should be good. I don't think
it's The Rock. You can't. That's movie box office money right there.
And Shazam, I thought was pretty good.
And Black Adam's a cooler character than Shazam, in my opinion. Actually, I like Shazam a lot too. I also liked it when they called him Captain Marvel, because it always was weird to me when he's like, my name's Shazam. I was like, that's the magic word that strikes you with lightning and turns you back into the other guy. You can't just go around saying that. Whatever.
Yeah.
That was that's why he calls himself Captain Marvel, not Shazam, because every time he says Shazam, he gets struck by lightning and changed from Billy Batson into Captain Marvel or vice versa. Anyway.
He's got the alter ego name too is the best. The Flash is just a cool name. Billy Batson. Billy Batson's a cool name. So and that's happening.
Let's bring him into the Multiverse of Madness.
That's what I said. I said if you have to do a fix with the with the Flash because of everything that's going on with Ezra Miller, I said the multiverse will be your way to set it up. And I said maybe you go ahead and you have to push forward with this film, but maybe you have to put a lot of the promotion around Michael Keaton coming back in Batman, and do that with your promotion and less emphasis on Ezra Miller. But then sure enough, in the film, you got to figure out a way for an out with Ezra Miller's Flash and then an in with a different Flash. And that could be maybe a throwback to something like you mentioned, maybe if they brought back a kind of something that was a callback to the 90s Flash.
Or they just use the Flash movie to actually reboot the freaking DC so they can get all new characters or replace as many characters as they want. You know what I mean?
Could still be the game plan. I mean, but I do hear that we're hearing this is the strangest thing about this film is it's pushed back. Michael Keaton's coming back. We know as Batman.
Love Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
so I would see it if you just told me Michael Keaton's in this movie. I'm like, well, I'm going to go see it. But
I'm in.
Batman.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there for it. But the thing is you got him, and then he's going to also be part of the Batgirl TV series, which was supposed to have come out after this movie. But I don't know if they've rescheduled that show. But that's also what's interesting. So what appears?
So wait, you mean is that the Batwoman show?
The Batwoman show, which is supposed to be a part of the DCEU. So it's not, it's going to be Michael Keaton's Batman in that show, which is the DCEU. So it makes me think that in the Flash, he gets stuck in the DCEU universe and ends up just staying and being the new Batman, the new old Batman for a little while.
Or they introduce the multiple universes, or in DC, as they call it, other Earths.
Yeah,
they introduce that so that they can, and they already even started doing this with the Batman, but they can just tell stories in a different universe. That way they're not restricted by the DCEU. Like, it can just be a different, this is taking place on Earth 2, just like the Batman. That way they weren't constricted by any previous versions. They weren't restricted by what other movies had come out. They weren't restricted by Justice League. They could just do whatever they wanted because, hey, this is taking place in a different reality. I think setting that up for them that's why I'm so surprised when they pushed the Flash back. I was like, you guys should be trying to nail down the fact that you can do whatever you want as soon as possible.
I know.
I think they wanted to have like Black Adam and Aquaman 2 and stuff come out first so that they can have those out and then do the multiverse thing. But they're still going to be playing hard catch up to Marvel.
I mean, they put, we were in COVID quarantine for a long time. They need to put Ezra Miller back in lockdown mode. Like a
comfortable.
Just
breaking into other people's houses, man.
Like I would pay him if I was Warner Brothers, I'd be paying him to stay home. Away from people.
Embarrassing. I wish I could get that treatment. I'll pay you to stay here.
I know. Stay home. Watch TV. Don't go anywhere. We'll even dine it. We'll send you food. Just stay there. Don't go anywhere. We need to stay there till 2023.
The kind of thing I dream about.
Sounds a lot like the pandemic, but
I'll send you food and money. Don't move.
here's a little Doctor Strange action for the meme fans. What Doctor Strange was trying to say, there can only be one Sherlock Holmes. was what he's trying. Here's another one. Oh
no
boy.
shit, Sherlock.
No shit.
Kangs. Loki and Sylvie restoring the multiverse. Wanda, warping reality. Doctor Strange. Yeah, Kangs.
Yes.
I love
Here's
it.
another one. There's a little Doctor Strange, and then we take out this.
Don't eat the chocolate without me.
Fine, I won't. Chocolate.
Wink.
He's gonna
eat that chocolate.
I'm not listening to you. And here it is, the Multiverse of Madness preview. So I went on Instagram Live right before we were to get on live. We did a live to promote a live. How meta is that?
Live.
It's
live.
Live.
And I'm alive.
Alive and alive.
Alive. And he's dying. Look, this is the circle of life right here.
The circle of life. Oh boy, we're gonna go see. I'm trying to get tickets to go see a live musical with Lion King in my town.
The one where they have like the puppets.
Yeah, I think so. I've never seen it live, but I think, speaking of that, okay, so Multiverse of Madness. We were on the live earlier and talking about Multiverse of Madness, and people started saying, I was asking them, who do you want to see show up? We talked about some of the random people that we thought we know for sure are going to be showing up, because I think Project X is a sure thing. John, the Picard, the Patrick Stewart Picard.
Well, did you see like the latest preview?
Yeah, I mean, I think that confirmed.
That's him rolling up in his like 80s, 90s cartoon yellow chair.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
It's confirmed. So we got Patrick Stewart coming back as Project X, which some would say, oh my goodness, that means the X-Men.
What do they call you? Wheels?
So I'm thinking, why not bring in the X-Men? Now, I think what happens is this will bring in that X-Men that we love and have grown up watching over the decades in many, many movies. But I don't think the X-Men are going to stay for a long haul of movies. I think they're going to be, this version of the X-Men are going to come back for this film. And then I think it's going to set up a new X-Men for the MCU. What do you think? That's my theory. Including a new Wolverine. It will set up. We'll get a new, but we will get Hugh Jackman. I believe we're going to get Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in this film, but it's a one-off. Then we're going to have a setup for the new Wolverine.
That'd be interesting. I don't know about that because
a handoff.
There's also Deadpool 3. I know Ryan Reynolds has been trying to get him to come back for that. That was literally the post-credit scene of Deadpool 2. Was he went back to Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine, and shot that bad Deadpool in the head and said to Hugh Jackman, he was like, one of these days your old pal Deadpool's gonna ring you up on the phone and tell you to get back into the game. And when he does, you have to say yes. And he goes, okay. So like I'm still hoping for them to pull off something amazing with Deadpool 3.
Deadpool in Multiverse of Madness. Deadpool is, why not? Have him in Multiverse of Madness.
They could. I don't know if they will. There have been rumors about that. I mean, there have been rumors about every dang character that exists, but I think there's been enough leaks online that Tom Cruise is coming in as a version of Tony Stark. We'll see. Who knows? Because they lie about this stuff. I mean, when Spider-Man was coming out, they were like, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were like, no, we're not in the movie. And then they're in the movie. So they've come out and said, no, Tom Cruise is not in the movie. But
there's that photo of him with the goatee. There's a photo of him with the goatee, and he's doing the green screen thing. What other film was he wearing a goatee? He doesn't wear a goatee in Mission Impossible. He doesn't wear a goatee in Top Gun. Tom Cruise hasn't worn a goatee since he made that Vietnam movie in the 90s. He hasn't worn facial hair.
Then it could be. I mean, who knows?
But I think we are going to get a version of Tony Stark, though, aren't we? In that Illuminati.
I would
Tom
think
Cruise
so.
or someone else.
I mean, they had like the Ultron droids, it seems like.
Yeah.
Walking them around. So that, although in the Marvel Comics, Ultron was created by Tony Stark and by the original Ant-Man, Hank Pym was in on the creation of Ultron. So this could be an alternate Hank Pym that created this version of Ultron.
Sure. Yeah.
So, the possibilities are literally endless. It just
Captain Carter. Someone told me Captain Carter.
They showed the shield.
They show the shield.
They showed her shield. She's like fighting Wanda in the latest thing. I was like,
oh my goodness, that's amazing. Yeah. So we got Captain Carter. We've got Project X. That's for sure. That's confirmed.
Project X.
Oh, I'm sorry. Professor
X.
Professor X.
You've been calling him Project X the whole time.
You let me do that. I can't believe you.
Well, I thought you were using that as a code. Like on Thunderpop, we call him Project because we're talking about the X-Men. But then I was just like, you're just talking about Professor X.
We got Johnny Depp coming back as Captain Hook, as whatever the pirate, Jack Sparrow. Captain Hook. Jack Sparrow. He's coming in. We'll have Amber Heard. We'll have Amber Heard as Mira from Aquaman come in, and they'll fight each other.
Oh God,
that was terrible.
He gets they already did that.
Yeah, they're gonna have the Jack Sparrow.
They do that in real life. They don't need. That's just inciting some sort of psychological post-traumatic stress.
Oh my gosh, that was terrible. I can't believe I did that. That was so horrible. But anyway, so
I was trying to make it topical.
Yeah. Trying to work that in somewhere for the clicks by going with the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp down that hole of wormholeness. Nonsense. But anyway, so the possibilities, like you said, are endless. We could get one Spider-Man in this film.
Namor. I mean, they talked about casting him a while ago.
Well,
he was
that's very doable because they have
Reed Richards.
They have a Namor already casted. It's already everyone's pretty much pieced together. The actor from Narcos that's going to be Namor, who is already in Wakanda Forever. He's been cast for Wakanda Forever. I'm trying to think of his name, but he's the actor from Narcos that has been cast in. So yeah, he's very likely. How about this one? I read this one today, and it makes a little bit of sense. Is Moon Knight showing up?
That'll be interesting to see
and you might actually get to see some actual Moon Knight.
I don't know.
Unlike the show,
though, because I don't think Oscar Isaac. I don't think he's been contracted for anything else yet, or at least that's what I've read.
Well, but if they kept it on the down low, like they did with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire,
and it seems like Moon Knight would be more connected with the Egyptian gods and everything to Thor, because they're having the Greek gods, the Norse god, and the God Eater.
Okay,
but they can do anything. They could have.
I mean, if they decide they want to connect it to the show because the show just finishing the day before. I mean, like you said, anything's possible. Scarlett Johansson comes back as Black Widow, and fights Captain Carter and Wanda. 3-way fight between the three.
Fights an army of Black Widows. I mean, in the What If series, they had a Black Widow replace a Black Widow that died on a different.
Yes,
because her planet wound up being almost destroyed.
Yeah,
by Ultron, and so what's his face, the big head dude, leaves her with in a different reality.
The big head dude could show up from What If.
Absolutely, he could show up. This is the multiverse stuff. I mean, if we see even evil Stephen Strange, and it looks like there might be multiple different Stephen Stranges they're going to be fighting because it is a multiverse. But I've seen what looks to be at least 2 or 3 different ones, including the original. So 4 different Stranges. I mean, one of those could be the one that we saw in What If, and that guy was trapped. Yeah, or with the big head guy. There's also wild speculation. Would our Doctor Strange, the Stephen Strange we've been watching all these movies so far, gets killed, and then another Doctor Strange actually is who we will end up having going forward. And he hasn't had any other standalone movies yet. Yeah, and this isn't like this is got a bunch. It's got Scarlet Witch and it's got who knows how many other people in it. But all he's had is like Doctor Strange too, not like Thor, who's had like Thor 1, 2, 3, 4, Avengers 2, blah blah blah. I mean, he was in Infinity War some, and he was in Endgame some, but really the most we've seen of him was his own movie, and then again some in Spider-Man. But this is going to be the most we've seen of him since his original movie. Mm-hmm. And that was the one where it was like, here's the mind-bending, psychological, crazy trips through other dimensions. And this is going to be like that times 2, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Here's our friend 30th Century Fox, who makes a good point that it's not just DC Warner Brothers that has sometimes some controversial figures. Chris Pratt, of course, there's been all the talk online about his being a part of I think he's part of a church that has some controversial viewpoints on the LGBTQ community. Not just controversial, but just some outright hateful views on that community. From what I understand, that's what I've been reading. But anyway, Chris Pratt has been somewhat low key about it and keeping his views under wraps.
I mean, I haven't heard him say anything in particular. So
yeah.
And you could say, like, I mean, anyone could say, I mean, that's tough. And I don't know enough about it to really talk about it. So I hadn't seen him personally say anything. So I don't know.
Yeah. He's married to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter.
Good pull.
So, yeah.
He was married to
the other actress or the actress.
Yeah.
From the TV show. Was she one of the actresses from, was she on Two Broke Girls?
Anna Faris, wasn't it?
No, Anna Faris. Yes.
Anna Faris, yeah.
Anna Faris. Yeah. She was on a different show, but yes, they were married and then they got divorced. I think they have a kid or 2 kids. And then he married Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter, who's a children's book writer. She writes children's books, I believe, or dog books. It's either children or dogs she writes about.
I was like, she writes to dogs. She writes books for dogs.
She writes to dogs.
Bark, bark.
She's a doggy pen pal. It's a whole business she started. You can write. You can get Adam.
The dog. No. I write them letters.
She writes dogs letters. Get Adam Brody to be his Wally West from Justice League Mortal. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people throw a Wally West idea out there for the Flash, of introducing that version of the Flash. I don't necessarily dislike that idea. That would be a way to go for that whole Flash thing. So who else? Bring in Henry Cavill. Have him show up as Superman in the Multiverse of Madness. Why not? He won't do a DC film, but maybe he'll do a Marvel film as Superman. Let's just go ahead and get cut to the chase and have the DC Marvel crossover.
I can't imagine they're going to do anything that drastic, but they could try pulling something. I mean, in Eternals, they referenced Superman. They referenced him.
Right.
So it's
yeah. I mean,
they'd probably get like sued off their butts though by like WB if they actually tried to use a Superman, you know?
Oh, well, yeah. Not without their written permission and consent.
They want some money for that.
Well, here's the thing. These two, DC and Marvel, could help each other out. I mean, DC desperately needs a reset, a reboot of sorts, that many would say they need kind of a reset, a refresher. So, and Marvel may be looking for a little bit, something to kind of keep people excited in Marvel.
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and set it up in this film and have the DC universe all reset within the Multiverse of Madness.
They want
DC
to flounder and die so that they can buy it.
Yeah, and then
they can control all comics movies except for Amazon, who has some of the best alternative or twist on they have The Boys and they have Invincible, which are two.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much superhero genre, but it takes what happens in normal superhero stuff and kind of turns it on its head.
Mm-hmm.
It takes away the idea of that like superheroes are inherently good people, which I guess DC was kind of trying to do that with Snyderverse stuff, but
yeah,
they didn't do it as well as like The Boys and Invincible does it.
oh yeah, there's a little bit of Doom Patrol is about the closest thing I've seen
Doom Patrol
of hitting that kind of that mark for DC, of something that has that kind of level of great storytelling and writing and still kind of dark.
And a lot of their animated stuff, pretty much all their animated, especially the animated movies, have been phenomenal. Like Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. It's crazy. Because they also have like Justice League Apocalypse, they have Justice League War, they have Justice League Dark, and then it's like Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. It's like, oh my gosh, if you've seen all the other stuff, it all comes together. And they have that at the end of that one. Spoiler alert. Constantine has the Flash reset the timeline, and he's like, we don't know what it'll end up like. This is dangerous. And Constantine's looking around at the hellscape that they live in. He's like, anything's got to be better than this. Go, Flash, go. That was like one of the last ones I watched anyway, but it was fantastic.
You know, if you look at the top 10 or the top 5 I think they did I just read a top 10 list, the best Batman movies ranked now after the Batman had been released, the new rankings, and animation dominate. I mean, they had at least half of that count, that top 10 was not just live action. Half of it was animation for the best Batman feature. Feature
my gosh, because they've done some amazing things there. And what is his name? Kevin, the guy that's done the voice for Batman for so many years. Conroy.
Conroy, who works with all the Mark Hamill Joker.
Mark Hamill. And the video games and stuff that they've done too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of quality DC stuff out there, but there's also just, when you compare like the DCEU to the MCU, it's just like that is clearly where they have stumbled the most.
Is animation compared to DC, what they've done, the animation where they
and then Marvel, I think their animation is not as good as DC's, you know? Like, their live action stuff's amazing, but their cartoons, like I could for the most part not even care less about.
They're
that
missable.
Might change with the X-Men reboot, but that's just because they're rebooting the classic.
Except, the 90s Marvel animation, if you go back to some of the 90s animation Marvel, pretty damn good. Like what they did with Spider-Man and then the X-Men and stuff.
So. And some of that was actually like Fox. Because they had the animated rights to Spider. That was always coming on Fox. And now that's on Disney, actually. A lot of the Spider-Man cartoons, because they bought Fox.
They bought it, so they get all that content. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, some good stuff. Here's one. We're talking about how Amazon's got this third wheel of the superheroes. They have the Darkverse stuff, like with The Boys and Invincible, and they have it's really damn good superhero shows. Some of the best, probably make most people's top 5 list of best live action superhero shows of today. Netflix kind of struggled a little bit. They haven't quite hit the mark on their superhero stuff quite as well. They did, of course, do their own Marvel shows before the Disney before Disney Plus launched. They were trying to do their own. They had Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and all that stuff going on with mixed results. Some of it very good, some of it Iron Fist, talking to you, but it was kind of a weak link. The Punisher, maybe a stronger piece of work from that whole thing. But Netflix kind of struggling. I've been proposing for like 3 years that Netflix should buy or acquire this IP. And a lot of 80s kids will remember this show, The Greatest American Hero. They've tried to reboot it a couple of times. ABC tried to reboot The Greatest American Hero with a female-led version. If you could figure out a way, this could be your
when
next.
When does that ever not work? Constantly.
I know. But hey,
when has that worked is the question.
No, but here's what you do. You could set up a Greatest American Hero verse, just like they did with Cobra Kai. Connect it to the original Greatest American Hero. Do just like a Cobra Kai thing, like the Karate Kid, and connect it and have a new Greatest American Hero. If that actor is still alive that played the Greatest American Hero, bring him back. He's probably kind of old now. I don't think he's been anything in a while, but bring him back to set it all up. You would get 80s kids coming out of the caves, out of the woods, left and right. And Netflix could kind of establish themselves as the 80s nostalgia streaming destination with Cobra Kai, and if you do a show like that, and it would also set you up for your own superhero verse. I don't know, just my 2 cents. I could ramble on about that.
It's gonna be tough for Netflix. I mean, they just lost tons of stock.
They've had a tough run.
Yeah, well, they just got blitzed, and they've been mentioning things like doing ads and
oh god,
and people are just like, nah, I'll just cancel it, because their original content they usually cancel after two or three seasons, and people like I just got, it's just gone.
It's terrible.
And they're now putting even less money into the development of stuff like that. Like they were for some reason filming a Bright 2, which they canceled. But I was like, that just shows that you were throwing money at things that you really shouldn't have been in the first place.
Yeah, nobody
there was no reason for a Bright 2. There was barely reason for a Bright. Okay,
it took an Oscar slap to get that movie properly canceled. It may have already been on the fence even without the slap at the Oscars.
Yeah, but that certainly took it off the table for good.
Yeah, if it was kind of on the tipping point of like, should we make Bright 2? Is that a good idea? And then the Oscars, and they're like, okay, we got it out. We got it out. Let's not make it. That's what it looked like to me. But anyway, Multiverse of Madness this week. Your most anticipated film? Would you say you say you had put it above No Way Home? Correct?
Yeah,
as
absolutely. Because while No Way Home. And this is just why, because No Way Home, I knew that was going to be great. I knew I was going to enjoy it. I got tickets for the opening day because I wanted to see it with the crowd. It was great seeing it with the crowd, hearing different people cheer at different points, depending on like which Spider-Man was their favorite or which part was their favorite. It was an amazing experience. But again, Multiverse of Madness is going to be setting the stage for Marvel going forward, because Endgame closed
the whole thing down.
Period. But then we've had some stuff in this new period. We've had some different shows and a couple movies, but nothing has told us what's going to be going on with like X-Men, what's going to be going on. And this, at the very least, is going to give us some answers. Probably a bunch more questions for sure, but it's going to give us some answers about what's going on with Scarlet Witch. She just got hold of the Darkhold.
Yeah.
About, so all this stuff, this is the movie where it's going to come out. And so I can't wait. I can't wait.
Here's the last TV spot.
Strange. It's time. In 10 days, nothing can prepare you for the truth. Everything you've ever known led you to this moment.
Stephen Strange. The Illuminati will see you now.
It's life or death. Could use an Avenger.
There are other Avengers.
We'll get you back on the lunchbox. The fate of the multiverse depends on us. No pressure, then. Doctor Strange.
Is Wong gonna die? Are they gonna kill off Wong?
Well, he is the current Sorcerer Supreme, so
yeah. Well, a lot of people thought that was the only way that Stephen Strange could get that title back, is that Wong dying in this, that he might get killed off so he can get that title back.
I'm not sure, man.
I don't know. They always put that little bit in the trailer to kind of make you think, like, everybody thought Chewbacca was going to die in the Rise of Skywalker, which he almost did, but focus groups didn't love that. I didn't love it, so they took that out. But there was a bit of the trailer where it's like it looked like he was going to die because there's a whole thing with Rey. There was a part even the Force Awakens trailer looked like everybody thought, oh, Chewbacca's going to die in that it's in the trailer. So things could be a little set up for maybe just teasing people to make them scared that Wong's going to die.
Yeah. 30th Century also just said, he's got another comment there.
Oh, 30th Century Fox. He writes, he says, I watched the trailer again. Whoever has Captain Carter's shield has a boost on their back.
I think it's a different trailer than that one. Actually, it came out. It might have come out like a day or two ago. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a part where like Captain Carter's fighting Wanda, I think, and then they show like two quick shots, or like one quick shot of her like kind of getting thrown back, but on her back you can see she's wearing like a booster. So you see the shield clearly. You can see that it's the Great Britain flag, not America, and she does have like a jetpack type thing on her back, which
Okay.
I assume helps her with like her mobility. But in the what if that we saw with her, I mean, Steve Rogers used like an Iron Man suit. That was like a crazy.
That was a whole bit too.
The Hydra Stomper.
Does Chris Evans come back? But as the little, do we get the what if Chris Evans?
That would be hilarious.
He
he likes to do cameo stuff like that, like when Loki always turns into him.
Yeah.
I
he's
think
up
he
for
would be down.
Yeah.
Especially if it's just like a bit part.
Just to him show up the little guy as a little Steven Rogers. Mini me Steven Rogers. Yeah.
Wasting away, concave chest, asthmatic Steve Rogers. Duck-footed,
but still getting it with
diabetic.
Yes,
his list of stuff is just like your guy. You got hay fever,
pees his pants often,
cluttered drawers, fruit flies. He's got everything.
Yeah, but he still gets it with Carter.
Yeah,
he still gets Carter.
Even the jacked Carter, which is even more hilarious because it's like when Captain America is with regular Agent Carter, that's like a Superman with a regular woman. This is a Superwoman with a abnormally small man.
I know.
No offense to anyone that's got all of those things. In fact, my heart goes out to you.
Well, if that happens, then Tom Cruise won't be the smallest man in this movie. Where's my bump? I earned a rim shot, didn't I?
He built lifts into his Iron Man suit.
Yes, as part of his contract is that he gets the lifts, so he's not doesn't have Captain Carter towering over his version of Iron Man. He says, "I've earned this.
I'm always the tallest person in the room.
I'm a star. I've earned this. I'm a blockbuster for decades star. I'm not going to have Captain Carter towering over me." And
my favorite role of his is in Tropic Thunder.
When he gosh.
Les Grossman.
You know, they were for a long time. There's rumors they were going to make a Les Grossman movie. It never materialized, but it should have happened. It never materialized, but it should have happened.
I don't even know what that would have been like.
But
Ben Stiller, he's the one that wrote Tropic Thunder. So
yeah, I think they would have had to agree because he owned the rights to the character, so he would have had to had greenlit it. But maybe they just couldn't come up with a full story around Les Grossman that they were all happy with. I thought would be enough for a full movie.
I remember seeing that in theaters, and at the end, I just heard all these people when they said that, like they were like, and Tom Cruise as Les Grossman. I heard a bunch of people in the theater being like, "What? That was Tom Cruise?" I'm like, "You just watched the whole movie and you didn't see it." But they made him like balding. They gave him fake hands to make his like. And so people didn't even realize it was. You could tell, like, and they did prosthetics to his face and stuff too. You could see it if you were looking for it, but if you had no idea, it kind of just went past you until that scene in the end credits where it was like,
you just said the sad
let's have him show up in the Multiverse of Madness.
There you go. That's what we want. We don't want him as Iron Man, Tony Stark. We want him as come back as Les Grossman. Give us that multiverse. You know what? He's actually fun. I mean, he's done the rare times that Tom Cruise has done comedy, and he's really good.
He's had some fun with it. Yeah.
Tropic Thunder. He did Jerry Maguire, which was kind of more of a rom-com, but it was a comedy and mostly comedy. He's really good in that. He doesn't do comedy very much, but when he does it, it's good.
And I thought it was I do reactions on my channel sometimes. I was reacting to this show called Parkinson, and it's like a talk show, British talk show, and they had Billy Connolly on, and he's a comedian and he's a great actor and been in tons of stuff. And there was the interview they were doing for The Last Samurai, which Tom Cruise was also in. Billy Connolly,
I love that film.
It's a great film.
Billy
Connolly plays like one of his sergeant. He gets killed off in one of the earlier attacks. But so they're just having this talk, and like Billy Connolly is just up there. It's supposed to be an interview show, but Billy Connolly is just telling jokes, and Tom Cruise is just dying laughing there. Yeah. He's like, and like cracking up. I was like, I like this. This guy who's having a good time, and and I like him in his serious movies too. But there are some movies where I'm just like, no thanks, Tom.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he cheeses it out in some of his other movies. Here's 30th Century Fox says Henry Cavill as Hyperion, Marvel's Superman, which is Marvel's version.
I think it would be cool to see something like that. Now,
Well,
I don't know if they're
he's done,
allowed to do things like
yeah.
that. But
Well, I mean, is Henry Cavill still under contract for any more movies? Always heard he had one more contract for. He was under contract for one more thing. That's what I've always heard.
and they didn't use him in the end of Peacemaker. They just silhouetted the shape.
Why waste that one more appearance if he's under
yeah.
contract for one more appearance? You sure don't want to waste it. We're there at all places in a TV show.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because he, also they used the body double in Shazam with the Superman, and it was obviously the version of that same Superman that we've seen, because the suit and everything looks the same, the body and everything. But it was, shot from the neck down.
Show everything but his face.
Yeah. I mean, it could also be that Henry Cavill just doesn't want to work with a bunch of degenerates and criminals over there.
Over there at DC.
Over there at DC.
And
all the infighting and dramas like going on the Jerry Springer show.
So much, yeah.
Oh boy.
It's a mess.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities are endless. They're going to throw some surprises. They're going to throw some curveballs at us. There's all the things that we think we're going to get, and we probably will get some of those things, quite a bit of those things, I think. But they're going to throw us a few curveballs. They're going to, like the Illuminati in the comic books. Illuminati is usually Namor, the Iron Man, but not the regular. It's the Iron Man. What is it called?
Superior
Iron Man. It's Namor. It's Mr. Fantastic. It's Professor X. It's I'm missing somebody here. There's a
Black
couple.
Panther.
There's 2 or 3 others.
He's been in it.
Yeah,
has he been Black Panther?
Yeah, and so they've always had those, but they the MCU loves to remix things,
and they switch it up. And this could be like the multiverse Illuminati as opposed to Earth Prime Illuminati or whatever.
And not this Illuminati. No, it's different. It's a different Illuminati. And actually, here's the weird thing. When I looked up this trailer earlier on YouTube, here's a screenshot of what you get on YouTube now with this trailer. I've never seen YouTube do this. Okay, down here at the bottom. So here's the trailer, and I can't zoom in on this, unfortunately. But down here is like a Wikipedia, like the definition, or no, it's kind of like the history or bio of the meaning.
It's from the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah, and it's on Illuminati.
That's kind of weird.
Isn't that weird?
Maybe they should put the second entry, which is like in the context of the MCU, it's a super group.
Yeah, they put the whole thing down here, what the Illuminati is according to the encyclopedia.
Context. It's interesting. That's
I've never seen YouTube. Why, of all things, did they decide to put that in there? I don't know. My mind was really working on that. I thought that was really wild, because I've never ever seen them put anything on a YouTube like that. But that was really
I've never seen that either. That's well, I've seen sometimes in the description if it's like a music or a song, they'll put but nothing like that. Nothing that's like a fact check.
That was a fact. Exactly what that is. They put the fact check under there. I guess maybe that's integrated anytime Illuminati comes up on YouTube, because it's one of those things that sparks people in the conspiracy world. It really gets people like boiling.
Yeah.
From one end to the other.
Yeah, they're not going to trust the encyclopedia. The Illuminati wrote the encyclopedia. You can't trust the encyclopedia.
Oh, well, here's another little thing. When a mod bans you from a stream, but you have other alternative accounts, you can't stop me.
Yeah, look at that. That's like at least 3 different ones right there. 4.
Yeah, he says, "Try to stop me. You can't stop me." There you go. I'm Dr. Strangers. I'm Dr. Strangers.
Dr. Strangers.
Not strangers.
You want some candy? Don't take candy from Dr. Strangers.
I'm the original Steven in the MCU. Not the other Steven. I love that Henry Cavill idea though, Hyperion. Marvel's Hyperion. I'm all on board for that. Let's do it. Make it so. You've got Captain Picard.
So.
Speaking of Captain Picard, make it so. And Professor X. I don't know. Is Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in this film?
I would say no.
If you had to bet money now, I want you to put down 50 to gain 5,000 in Vegas. $50 to gain 5,000.
My bet is no.
I'm putting my $50 down on Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and we'll come back here next week. I'll come back on your show next week. We'll see if I won, who won, and
All right,
on that.
I'll try and get $5,000 together. 2 days later, I skip town.
If there's a way to bet, they should have Vegas odds for this type of stuff.
I'm sure you could find some action on that if you went looking. I'm sure they've got action going on.
They
that
probably
sort of
do.
thing.
I would bet.
They have action on everything.
That's a degenerate I am. I wouldn't bet on sports. I would bet on Marvel theories.
I don't know enough about sports. Now, Marvel theories, I would have had that Spider-Man money in my pocket right now.
Oh.
I was calling that. David Furr on my show is, I love giving him crap for this because he's like, I'm not so sure. And I was like, have you seen the previews? Have you seen the villains from multiple universes? Why would you show that to people and then not have multiple Spider-Man? If you did that, people would just be like, this is the worst. And then they did it and it was great. And then I came back the next week and I was like, what up? Called it, son. Of course.
I'm sure he was thrilled, but he also was like, you got me.
Yeah,
you got me.
And like Debbie is calling that Nightmare is going to be involved in Multiverse of Madness.
Okay. I like that. I like that thinking.
But she was also claiming that Nightmare was going to be responsible for WandaVision, which
she
doesn't look like
it
was. Yeah,
I remember that. There's like a booger on my microphone. I didn't put a booger on my microphone. I think my son came in here and put a booger on my
children.
Oh boy. Oh, okay. I've been talking into a booger for an hour with you. That's it.
That's why I felt like dancing. There's a little boogie.
Little baby, boogie. I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am. If we can't play usually like music, like that's like big, like popular music. Like we couldn't play music from that, like they play on the radio, like on these live streams. We probably would get
the Thor trailer where they had Guns N' Roses. So
we all did. Y'all just not even bother with that trailer?
I put it on silent and we watched a couple parts of it. But
sure, then you can at least talk about what the visually things you're seeing happening, and you can comment. Yeah,
I was like, and then I sang some of it, but that was terrible.
Yeah,
so.
But that's what I mean. Does it matter? Like if we sang it, like me especially, you sing, but I don't sing. If I sang it in my awful voice, does that make it legal? Like, could I play the Thor trailer and I just sing would that be legal?
Yeah.
I sing the Guns N' Roses part.
They might try and get you though. Sometimes they try and get you for the visuals. Like I've gotten
sometimes. Yeah.
But as far as the sound is concerned, if you decide to sing it yourself, you're totally clear. At the start of every MCU Mondays has the Marvel theme song.
Yeah, that's right.
But I sing over it. And so it's fine.
So you altered it. You altered it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Marvel theme song is basically the background music, but then I layered over me singing at like 5 different pitches and I made that sound echoey. So it sounds like a choir is doing it. So yeah, it's like, that's different enough. But again, if you just played it silently and it was just you singing, you'd be fine. That'd be fine.
You'd be fine. My favorite, you've done some different versions of your opening, like over the last few years. My favorite was when during the Falcon Winter Soldier of your openings, you did the Falcon Winter Soldier with, what's his name doing the dancing,
the hammer dance,
that dancing.
Zemo.
Yeah, the dancing Zemo was that was hilarious.
Yeah, I do a new visually. I make one new every week, so it's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you change the visuals.
Different, yeah.
Yeah, you do a new visual for maybe something with whatever's going on currently in the Marvel world.
That is correct.
Is part of what you're. Real quick, I'm gonna shut it down here in a couple minutes, but I want to ask you a little bit. You mentioned a little bit about Moon Knight, I think, before we started, and you said you weren't as high on it. I'm kind of interested to hear what you have to say on it. I'm going to tell you this. I'm like, for me, it's not my favorite of the Marvel live action series. I think it's another Marvel effort of doing something that's a little more of a deep cut in the Marvel comic book library. I do think it is better effort than the Eternals. Yeah. As far as Marvel deep cuts go, it to me hits it more out of the park than the Eternals did. But I think Oscar Isaac's a big part of that, and his ability as an actor is so fun to watch. Definitely won't be in my top 5 for Marvel shows though. But that's my okay. Now what do you think?
It's enjoyable, but it's only 6 episodes, and a lot of that, and we only have one left. Most of it has been like a character study of Steven and Mark, the 2 personalities that we know of so far that make up Moon Knight, but there's been less actual of the Moon Knight. Like there have been several episodes now where there's been no Moon Knight whatsoever, and even in the ones where there was some, it was not that much,
which is a huge misfire, because that when he is Moon Knight, it's badass.
It's pretty awesome. And I get that, you know, I also like the show because it reminds me, it is a little bit deeper cut. It is a little bit more heavy, and it reminds me of Fight Club at times. It reminds me of
Mummy.
M.
Night's kind of horror film genre.
Let's see, what's that one? It's like one of Chris Nolan's first film, Memento. Some of that going on because he like doesn't remember what's happened. You know,
yeah, got a little bit of that too, isn't it?
It would have been better, I think, maybe if they could have made it a couple more episodes or something, so that we had more time for him to do Moon Knight stuff. But we'll see what happens in this last episode.
Yeah, it better. I mean, I would have
pretty good. I mean, it's better than. I think it's better than Falcon and Winter Soldier.
No, I couldn't.
I enjoyed, but
I couldn't rank it ahead of Falcon Winter Soldier. Unfortunately, no. I think, you know, after I've had time with these shows, they've been out a while. They've been putting these shows out now for I don't know how long. We've had a lot of time with these shows. Right now, the one that really still sticks with me is Loki for my number 1.
Loki was fun.
For the
I love Owen Wilson, man.
Yeah, Owen Wilson, Tom Hiddleston. I mean, I thought it was really well written, philosophical, but still had a lot of really just eye candy visually.
I mean, if you're getting ready for Multiverse of Madness, make sure to go over to It's a Vase Productions. The video that plays when you go to my page, it's a WandaVision and Loki music video to the tune. To the tune of Bare Naked Ladies Falling for the First Time.
Oh no.
So it's a really great music video. It sets you right up for going into Multiverse of Madness. There's also a great Doctor Strange music video there. I can't wait until Doctor Strange 2 comes out so I can make a whole new music video with all this stuff. But
oh my goodness.
Love making those edits.
You should do a Steven versus Steven Strange
versus Steven.
With the Moon Knight Steven, the Doctor Strange Steven,
Captain America.
Yeah, and Steven Rogers. You can have Steven. I hope they do that. We get that sometime.
PHs versus Vs.
PH versus Vs.
Stevens versus Stephens.
Blouses versus shirts.
Blouses win.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this coming week, you'll get some Moon Knight talk. You'll get some more pre-show for Multiverse of Madness on MCU Mondays coming up this Monday, which runs in my time zone, I believe 8:30, right?
Yeah, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern.
9:30 Eastern. Monday night, Chris Cassidy, Debbie Barton, David going to be in with you this week?
Possibly. I don't know. He usually is, but if he can't make it, it's all good.
It's going to be real.
The shit is getting real. Oh, yes, things getting serious. Dude, did you hear what I said? The shit just got real.
It's going to be that kind of week.
The shit is getting real.
It's going to be that kind of week. Did not want to even disappoint everyone, but I got breaking news at the end of the show.
Uh-oh. Metal. There's Justin.
There's Justin from the Death Metal News Network. That would be awesome if they had a Death Metal News Network.
It's the Death Metal News Network.
And all the news is done in death metal voices, like singing it in death metal. I would watch the news again. I start watching the news again. I would be all in on that. It'd be so entertaining. Breathing fire and spitting at people in the front row of the audience. I'm only saying that because when I went to my friend's death metal band show years ago, that was one part of their show. They would spit on people.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I've seen that too, and I'm just like, I don't think I've liked anyone's music that much.
No,
but
it's like
maybe I'm the weird one. I don't know. The people that got spit on certainly seem to enjoy it, but to each their own.
It's like Gallagher, but gross. Like getting liquids.
That person could have like hepatitis or something.
Yeah, I don't want to
spit on me.
I would imagine in the COVID era that became less probably didn't go over too well, did it?
Try it and it just gets caught in your mask. God damn.
Yeah, then you have to like take your mask off and ring it out.
Throw that out into the crowd.
Ring it. Just go ahead.
If there's a crowd, I feel like we've already
toss that.
Screwed it anyway.
Toss that thing over there to the side. Oh my goodness. Anyway, actually, I don't even have breaking news. I just wanted to play that sound because I haven't used that sound in a while, and I've never used it on the video version of the show. I used it on the audio version, so that's it. I really feel like I set that up too much and didn't give you anything, so I'm sorry. Is there any breaking news you might be able to offer in place of it, of me not having any breaking news? Something breaking. I guess I could pull up.
I think John Watts, the director, he was the director for Fantastic Four. He's dropped out.
That's right. I was disappointed about that. That came in today, I believe. But that is So I don't think it means that the Fantastic Four movie is not happening. It's just going to be now they're looking for a new director. So that's
going to be quite the. That's going to be one of the more difficult ones to do Fantastic Four right. I don't think anyone's totally done it right. Actually, I thought the first Fantastic Four movie they did was solid.
Yeah.
It wasn't amazing, but like the second one was and then that new reboot they did was just terrible.
Yeah.
But hopefully MCU, now that they'll have it in control, they should be able to do some fun stuff with it. We got tease of Doctor Doom in Moon Knight. I don't know if you saw that. In the cupcake truck when he's driving.
Oh, yes.
There's written on the packages. Von Doom.
What was the truck in WandaVision that they were driving around that looked like similar? It wasn't a cupcake truck, but it was some other kind of white big truck.
I'm not sure. I think that one was one that kept changing because that was the delivery guy and everything changed in that. But
it had some. Well, yeah, there was that whole the whole Pleasantville like things kind of flipped at certain points. Oh my goodness. Well, MCU Mondays this week coming up Monday night. The next 2 weeks are going to be pretty epic. May's crazy. It's going to be May.
We're talking all about Moon Knight episode 5 this Monday, which it's pretty interesting. I mean, I still need to see the last episode, but there's definitely, there's stuff going on. It's not necessarily Moon Knight jumping around in Moon Knight suit kicking butt, but there's been a lot of character reveal. I mean, episode 5 was like, dang. As far as like origin stories for characters go, it's like, oh, Batman has a tragic origin story. Yeah, well, Moon Knight has a pretty rough one himself.
It's pretty damn rough. Also, drop by the Thunderpop shop.
That is awesome.
The Thunderpop, it's thunderpopshop.com and get a Jack Black Widow t-shirt.
That's hilarious.
Drop by before they sell out.
Jack Black Widow. Skibbity bibbity bibbity boo.
Just in time for summer. Yeah. Get your Jack Black Widow t-shirt. Chris Cassidy, thank you so much. Let's get together sometime. If I'm in your place or if you're in my place, please don't hesitate to give me a ring. We'll go out and get some burgers and fries.
Oh, yes.
And I'll take you out for the best burger. I'll take you to one of the best burger places in the city if you like burgers. Next time if you ever get to Austin, I'm sure at some point maybe you might get to Austin or you will never.
I think someday I will. Someday.
Yeah, probably come in for something. So it's been about 3 years since maybe 4 years now since I've been in your area. I was in Virginia for my old job about 4 years ago. Had short
roundabout my neck of the woods. Yeah,
short pleasant trip when I was there. I had never been to that particular. I've been in New York, but had not been to that spot, the East Coast. So I quite enjoyed it. So I'll give you a ring next time I'm over there. But I'll see you soon. I'll take your invite on the week from Monday and come out and talk react for Doctor Strange 2. I'm pretty excited about this film, and I know it was your most anticipated.
Oh, I can't wait. There's gonna be so much to talk about. So much to talk about.
So much to cover. It's a lot, and there's gonna be so much like packed in this film, which is not that long. This film, as long as you would expect it to be. That was another thing. It was a really weird thing for me too. Was the length in this film? So what was the runtime?
Multiverse, 2 hours and 6 minutes. Is that what it says? Yeah. When you compare that to the Batman was 2 hours and 56 minutes, so just about 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
This is about 50 minutes shorter than that. 50.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Although it is 10 minutes longer than the original Doctor Strange. I think 2 hours is a pretty good amount of time to tell a story in. So.
Yeah. What would you rather have? Short and not want you coming back for more? Like where you wish there was more? Like you can't wait for more? Or like so long and you're just like, okay, I'm watching my watch, So.
And the only movies that I really like that are even that long, are either like fantasy. I mean, like Lord of the Rings, obviously, they're like, I watched the extended version of those, but I love Lord of the Rings and I'll watch everything. Actually, I'm working on a Lord of the Rings music video right now. It's gonna be banging. But that's the only thing that like 4 hours. Any other movie, if they said if even with the Batman, I was like 3 hours long for Bat. I was like, and I think they could have cut a little bit out of that too. But yeah, longer running time does not equal, but it could mean it's bloated. Like that's Wonder Woman 2.
Yeah,
could cut half an hour out of that movie. Would have made it a lot better. Not that would have solved all that movie's problems, but still, runtime is not a guarantee of anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, we can't wait for it. I can't even imagine what they're going to put in the end credits to this film. They've got so many possibilities. That's another thing I've been thinking about today. The possibilities are just, I mean, you got Ant-Man and that film.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Ant-Man, here's breaking news for you. We did have breaking news. Ant-Man sequel has been moved up by several months.
Up. Closer. That never happens.
That never happens ever in our lives.
Or at least not in the past 2 years. Everything's always been pushed back.
Still things that get pushed back. Yeah. But yes, Ant-Man has been pushed up. That's definitely worthy. That's worthy of some breaking news sound.
Breaking news up in this place. Breaking news up in this place.
Yes, the Ant-Man sequel has been moved up, I think, by 4 months. If not 5 months. Yeah, so that's big news. Oh, my goodness. Everyone out there, Chris Cassidy, thank you so much. Everyone out there, have a good day. Hour, second, and millisecond. And if you ever have Amber Heard over your house, hide your pillows. That's my little closing bit for you. And or covered in plastic. And she's known to do some pranks. Okay, everyone. Chris Cassidy, have a good one. Everybody out there, have a good one. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. We'll see ya so soon. Closing it out. Where's the outro? Where's the outro, damn it? I've got it right here. Thunderpop is a Hit the Bricks production. Hit the bricks! Bye-bye. It's all about you. It's not about us. It's about you.